What goes into the philosophy or the psychology of changing one's mind? I've changed my mind on a number of very important things in my life over the years, and I find the whole concept of persuasion and modification, or even complete reconstruction of one's individual's perspectives, fascinating. And recently, on the Unbelievable program with Justin Brierley, which I'll link to below, Justin interviews Hemant, Mehta, the friendly atheist, and Sean McDowell, the Christian apologist. And this specific topic came up.
I think if you're talking me personally, at this point, I feel like I've heard enough from the apologist side, those kind of the standard arguments you've heard, that none of that has convinced me so far, so I'm not sure anything, like, if you look at this Bible passage, boom, that's not going to do it.
Okay.
It may have to be like a personal thing I go through.
So it could be some kind of a personal experience,
But, yes, it would have to be a personal experience, but a lot of people have personal experiences and they can attest to them.
That's the problem, I suppose.
And that doesn't mean it's real. I mean, I've seen enough of those books because they sell a lot of copies about, I swear I died and I went to heaven and I know exactly what happens there. And it just so happens that all those stories are identical, for more or less. You know what I mean? Like, your personal belief doesn't necessarily.
So it's hard for you to kind of, at this point, know what sort of evidence could actually convince you in that sense.
I would have, I think, a lot more questions about even trusting my own experience at that point, because I would be like, well, did I really experience what I think I did? What holes can you poke?
Are you saying our side's more dogmatic than like Dawkins is? Because
yes,
Dawkins and Dennett seems about as dogmatic as you can get.
I think you're wrong.
Tell me why. I'm interested to hear.
I think Dawkins would say the same thing I just answered you, not to speak for him, but to say, no, show me the evidence. I think he gets more attention, and the people want to hear what he has to say a lot more, so he comes across in a lot of ways that I don't it's not the way I would answer a lot of questions, so I think it's kind of easy to perceive him to be dogmatic, but I think if you ask him straight up, look, we have proof God exists, we have proof Jesus is the route to get there and stuff, he would hear it.
Now, what's interesting about what transpired in that conversation is that while those words were coming out of Hemant's mouth, my mind immediately went to an event where Richard Dawkins did address that question. Here's what he said.
Or what it would take to convince me of anything supernatural. I find it very hard. I used to think it'd be easy. You just God would appear in clouds and chariots of fire and things.
Well, that's a start, isn't it?
I used to think that, but I mean, I've seen so many good conjuring tricks and where you absolutely swear blind it's supernatural, and yet we know it's a trick. I suppose that if Jesus came down in a chariot from a cloud, that would do it for me, but
I want that piece of video excerpted and put on YouTube.
I still think, actually, a more plausible explanation than anything supernatural is natural we don't yet understand, and so a trick wrought by an alien civilization that we don't know about yet or something is actually as implausible as it is more plausible than that the laws of physics have been violated, which is what we're kind of talking about when we talk about.
So what would falsify Dawkins' beliefs according to Dawkins himself? Well, basically nothing. Even if Dawkins saw God descending from the clouds of heaven on chariots of fire, he says that he wouldn't believe in the supernatural because the supernatural is obviously ridiculous. Now, the clear explanation of such an event would be aliens? Now, Dawkins is not actually interested in evidence because he has already made up his mind and has the presupposition of natural materialism, and therefore God cannot possibly exist. Dawkins at that point is not a skeptic, a person who is willing to reserve judgment until they have the sufficient evidence to make a conclusion. But he's outing himself as a cynic, a person who will not believe the evidence because he has already made up his mind on the topic, because he dismisses the evidence that disagrees with his already made up mind. But what do I know? I'm one of those dogmatic Christian types.